Peace, y'all. Come on in, share it live. Come on in, share it live, y'all.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
What's up, y'all? Come on in. What's up? What's up?
Peace, peace. If you have questions, we're here for y'all to request, and we bring you up and we answer your questions when it's things pertaining to God.
So y'all come on in, share it live. Let's get the party started. Let's get the party started, y'all. As we always say day in, day out, y'all, a lot of footage have been put out. We got panels going every day. And I always want to reemphasize, there's so much more we could be talking about. Now, this is the important and the foundation of us moving forward, because we have to change our mind. That's the whole thing of the New Testament. Something new, because what we're doing is not going to get us where we need to be. So we got to do something different. That different going to come from the new song, the revelation, the revealment, the whole truth. So what we are speaking is the foundation. And a lot of people don't understand this information is strictly to remove deception. See, people, when they speak to us, they put their emotions in with it, because they got emotions about Jesus. They got emotions about Allah. They got emotions about their religion. We don't come with that. We come with change. We come with truth. We come with justice. All this is to remove deception. But a lot of people are waking up to realize, damn, I've really been sleeping with deception. Sometimes you can marry somebody, you don't know them. You be like, this is who I married. Yeah, that's who you married. You didn't know at first. Now you know. So that's all like this awakening. People to realize they really been laying down with a monster. They really married Babylon. So it's so much emotions when we come speaking the truth. Because remember, we have only been sent to defeat the devil. We have not been, you notice most religions condemn people and their lifestyle. This is something that's strictly for the devil. But people got to understand the devil got workers too. The devil got workers. So when the truth comes, the workers of the devil going to realize, oh shit, if that's true, my time up. If what they are saying is true, that means what? My time is up. I'm no longer going to exist if this is true. You have to, this is what's coming in people's minds. Like, if you saying that, then you know what? Then this don't even exist no more. And people can't handle that. Because that's what they've been working for their whole life. That's what they've been loving their whole life. That's what they've been laying down with their whole life. You see what I'm saying? So this is how you know when people are living the, how some people, when somebody say you lying, you get mad. You ever heard you lie, you get mad or something, Yeah, because You got your emotions attached. Because when it comes to the truth, y'all, the truth have no friends. Y'all, the truth need no friends. It don't. You know why? Because you're gonna be either a brother and a sister to the truth, or you're not gonna roll with the truth. That's the whole thing. We're in church. What's up, brother? What's up, sister? That's why you say that, because you have to be what? You have to be coming from the same mother. Be coming from the same mother. Same father. So these are things, like I say, y'all, a lot of people might disregard our message for religion or whatever will try to box people, put it in. But this is simply to remove the devil, which is deception. The devil is deception, the father of lies.
Someone wants to know, what is truth? What is salvation?
Well, truth is something that's going to conquer. Truth is enlightenment. Lies are darkness. So when you cut the light on, what happened to darkness? It removes. Darkness don't remove truth, which is darkness don't remove light. It's like whenever the sun is up, it can't be dark. It could be cloudy. It can't be dark. It could be dim. You can even cover the sun up. It's still going to be dim. It can't be dark. When you're in darkness, you are living a lie. So salvation comes from removing you from darkness, aka drowning waters. Same thing as why Christ is a fisherman of men. These right now we are getting fished out of the dark waters in Genesis. God was above these dark waters. Everybody else was drowning in them to pull us up. That's the salvation that God is bringing.
And if y'all have questions, I see a brother named Pablo. If you have questions, feel free to come up. We don't really like talking through the comments.
Yeah, we try to read a few. Yeah, we ain't no comment readers, y'all. That's why we come up here with our precious time to hold the conversation. I know some people can't come up, but that's why we also let people who come up might have the same question that you asking in the comments. But simply, like a lot of people don't know about the scattered Ethiopians. We think Ethiopians are only people from East Africa, like Africans ain't been scattered. Like people ain't been moved around. Ethiopians still coming over here still to this day. So we got to think Ethiopians are in America. Original Ethiopians are in America. Original Ethiopians are in the islands. Original Ethiopians are in England. Ethiopians are not born in Ethiopia. So that's why we have these leaders up here, and they also connected to biblical prophecy. This story is linked to biblical prophecy. So that's the main reason they're up here. When it comes to tribalism and all these things, man, what we have come to know, emotions are tied to a lot of this tribalism, man. And like I said, we got bigger and better things to talk about. So we'll scrape the surface with some things, but what's up? What's up?
Hey man, so my question I asked earlier was, how are you guys different than the Slavs pretending to be the Palestinians?
Well, you have these people back here. These are people that's connected to the Solomonic dynasty and David's throne. You ever heard of that?
Uh, no,
Okay, well, you believe in the Bible?
no. I mean, not really. I mean, I believe that it's a hodgepodge of like 10 different religions written over thousands of years by thousands of authors. But
Okay.
so the Black Israelite movement, that's what this is, right?
No. Mm.
No?
That's why I say, man, you gotta look up the royal priesthood. When you come to the Solomonic dynasty, you don't find this dynasty all over the world. So this will give you a good foundation because the Bible does have Solomon in it, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
that whole Bible story is
No,
from
that's what I'm
an
saying.
Iraqi who
Hold on,
then married his
hold on,
Syrian sister, and then he.
hold on. Slow down. Listen. That's what you was told. I don't. Everything you say, I know nothing about because I don't believe that.
All
That's
right,
why I'm giving you something new.
all right.
Now you don't have to believe it, but see, when it comes to the truth is being spoken now. The truth ain't been in the earth. So the truth is something you're gonna have to hearken to. Now you got free will to hearken to it. We're not gonna make you believe it. But we
Do you
got something
worship
new.
Yah?
Hold up. We have something new that don't nobody have. That's why we come on here to share information.
All right. Do you worship Yahweh?
Now I'm not into worshiping, I'm into knowing.
All right. So do you believe that Yah is your God?
That's what I'm saying. So you don't even want to know about the Solomonic dynasty. You ain't even worry about that. That don't matter to you.
Well, your tie-in, your hook is based on the Bible, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you, but you trying to put me somewhere where you think I'm at, instead of you let me reveal to you where I'm at. I'm trying to reveal to you where I'm at, but you want to already see me in your view.
Well, fair enough. The website
That
is
ain't how you
called
get the
Yah,
information,
Jew,
huh?
Judah. Your website is Yah, which is God's name. Jew is a made-up word from the 12th century England, and Judah is a kingdom. It's the Palestinians. So that's why I'm confused. Go ahead and explain it to me.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what you was taught. That's what's in the world. The
Yeah.
world is deceived. So I get that. A lot of people know what you know. But that's not true. That's why I'm finna explain to you the Solomonic dynasty. Like, how you know about Solomon in the Bible, but you don't know about the real Solomonic dynasty of the people behind me. These are real people. Matter of fact, what year you think this is up here? What
I
year you think
assume
this is?
I assume it's over multiple years, over multiple centuries.
I mean, what? Just give me just give me one roughly.
I would guess early 1900s, late 1800s.
Okay, why? Okay, yeah, dead on. You dead on. Now these people, this man right here, he was King of Kings. He sat on David's throne. Now, when you go in history, you can't find nobody else that sat on David's throne. You can't find it in Palestine. You can't find it in Israel. You can't find it in England. You can't find it in America.
Well, I
If you go to
mean,
East Africa, he was King of Kings. He was King of Kings. What Haile Selassie said? Oh yeah, right here. He was King of Kings. She was Queen of Kings. So his name was Muhammad Ali. He was a very religious influencer. He had his own army, own state, King of Wallo. So this is stuff we was never taught. So the Bible come from East Africa. The Bible come from this place that I'm talking about. So when I mention the Solomonic dynasty and people that sweep that under the rug like that ain't important, you can't go in nowhere in history and find a royal priesthood unless you go here.
well, so the scholarship that I've read suggests that the Bible started 99% of it started in Iraq, right? The Babylonian writings, and then it continued after that. I mean, there was like we had the Song of Solomon's that predates, and I think maybe one other old poem or song that predates Babylon.
Yeah, but you got to understand, like, who are these scholars and where did they even get this information from? Like, this is what you guys don't question about your information.
Well, that's fair. That's fair, right? So, we're doing a certain amount of blind faith in that we try to read everything on the subject and then try to come up with conclusions based on a holistic view. But if we don't have data points, then we can't know, right?
Well, if the
Yeah,
Bible,
absolutely. Yeah,
exactly.
you absolutely, and that's why right now what I'm giving you is the data points. And once you get that, everything gonna change. Now the picture gets much bigger than
So
what it
what
really
what
is.
why is the website Yah, God's name, Jew, a made up word, and
So,
Judah, a kingdom from Palestine?
okay, brother, I could have put God shine praise, and that could mean the same thing.
Uh,
I could have put God stone praise. That's the same thing. So words are just how we govern our communication. You see what I'm saying? These words that they only for to govern our communication. So I
okay,
could
so
put
what?
God, I could put Yah, I could put stone, I could put all this would mean the same thing because this name has a meaning. So that's why I say you don't. A lot of people think we are Christians because we talk about the Bible. No,
So
and
what's the
got a lot of
claim?
people who talk about the Bible is not Christians. So a lot of people we always try to paint a picture when we see something about what we think. That's not how you approach the truth. You approach the truth in a childlike way because when you approach the truth, you're trying to receive. You're not trying to project. But if you're
So
gonna
what?
come to the truth and project everything, or to anything, you won't get the value out of it.
All right, you're saying you're not the Black Israelites. It's a Ethiopian thing. It's different. There's a lot of lingerings of connections to the Bible to Ethiopia, right? I feel like this is pretty common knowledge. So why don't you lay out your claim, and then we can talk about it.
You say my plan?
My
Your
claim.
claim, your claim. Like what is it that you guys are
Well,
claiming?
well, one thing I'm pretty sure you already know. Cause sound like you got your name watching, so I'm pretty sure you know. But we gonna play the game. But the Bible says David will never lack a man to sit upon his throne. So religion have taught us that the throne is in the sky and so-called Jesus sitting on it. But the scriptures that we have skimmed over say David descendants. So that means somebody from David will always reign on David's throne, according to the writings. Now, church don't teach this, the Catholics don't teach this, the Mormons, the Jehovah's Witnesses, nobody teach this because it's all about Jesus. So what we proclaim is a descendant of David is on the earth, as the scripture said, and he will reign and judge the world, gather the saints to restore the world and heal Africa.
So is it like a living prophet situation?
Correct.
Correct.
And then the prophet of who?
The prophet of God, prophet of the universe, whatever
What,
you
what's
want.
what's God's name?
God don't. That's what I'm saying. God don't have.
What's God's name?
God don't. That's what I'm saying. God don't have a name. God is an image, and God is a way of life. God is like the wind. God move people. So the wind, the invisible wind, move objects all the time, but nobody sees the wind. So God's spirit, or you want to call it Holy Spirit, energy, or whatever alphabet you want to, put it on there. God is an energy that move people.
I think the
So
fact that it's tied to the Bible, it makes it harder to believe, right? Because at the end of the day, you're trying to tie into a history that is well established, but at the same time, like say it's totally separate. Like, have you heard of the documentarian hypothesis?
no,
A hypothesis come from man.
Well, yeah,
But the
it's
Bible says, "Let every man be a liar." The Bible says that the devil deceived the whole world. So you're trying to fight us with what you learned from the world when it has nothing to do with the Bible.
sure. So, but what it is the documentary hypothesis. It's a scholarly study of who wrote what parts of Torah, the first five books of the Bible, right? So, I think it would be beneficial to your service, right? Because if you guys are trying to discredit it, you would say, well, look, this was written then, this was written in Babylon, this was written by, like all these writings. Nobody has any idea who actually wrote it. And the more you know about the falseness of the Bible, I think it would help your argument, don't you think?
well, brother man, we're not going against the Bible. So what if I wrote what if somebody wrote a letter about the bomb in the building, how it got in the building, who put it in the building, but you don't know who wrote it. But
Sure.
then you go look and damn, it's a bomb in the building. Does that make that statement false because you don't know who wrote it? That's
No.
nonsense. Like that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. So these are, and we not saying the Bible is false. We you were just told let every man be a liar. The devil deceive the whole world. If anybody stand on that, all the scholars have been deceived. Their scholarship is wrong. Scholars are regular men like me and you who study. That's it. They
Okay.
not special. They just scholars.
So,
They different because they put in the work and they do the research. So anybody that put in research in something, yeah, you could adhere to it. But just to saying they scholarship is 100% right, its own scholarship, man, that's nonsense, man.
all right, all right. So
That's
then what
mediocre,
we're
man.
let me
You know.
back brief you, make sure I know where we're at. We're talking about a living prophet. This living prophet is sitting on the throne of David, which
No,
exists in.
no, no,
No?
no,
Okay, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. Fix
no,
me.
no. The living, Christ has to be lifted up. So Christ, which is this living prophet, is a chosen living vessel of God, or you could say good energy. He
Sure.
gonna be moved to do things nobody else gonna do. That's why he gonna be able to gather the saints. And once he gathered the saints, they gonna judge the world because they gonna bring a truth that's gonna convict the higher principalities of the world, the people who run the world. Because this gospel got to be spread to the four corners of the earth.
Okay, who's the
So
who's the current prophet?
I don't think you're ready for that yet. But if you
All
go
right.
to that website, you'll
Uh-huh.
find out everything you need to know.
All right. Well, if you're good with me, I mean, if you want me to step down so other people can ask questions, that's fine. I do have more questions. I'd like to, kind of get the skinny on like what is the right answer according to you.
You say, what is the right answer?
Uh-huh.
According to what?
According to what?
According to you, according to your beliefs.
What I say it's not a belief, it's a knowing. It's a when
Okay,
it
according to your knowing.
well, you gotta know and you gotta do. So we gotta change the world. That's what this is about, changing the world and bringing righteousness back into the world. That's the simplest way I could put it. Now, how it's gonna be done, you gotta be a part of it.
How are you
Because
defining righteousness?
shit, life, the principles of life, like righteousness is gonna produce life. It's not gonna destroy life. It's not gonna take from life. It's not gonna hurt life. It's not gonna harm life. It's
Yeah, but
gonna prolong
righteousness
life.
is doing
So
the right thing, and the right thing is based on some type of code, right?
no, it's not a code. That's what I'm saying. If you can show what you're doing to help life, then you right. It's no. That's why even in the Bible it says no law for the righteous. That's why you can't put a law on righteousness. You can't.
Well,
You can't do that.
I would argue that there's no law for the righteous because to live the law is freedom, right? There is no restriction on it, and I'm pretty sure you're quoting Paul the Confuser, but
No,
so
no.
so
A
It's,
righteous
it's
person
no.
wouldn't need a law because they'll be righteous.
Yeah. So it's no restriction on them. Why would you stop somebody for doing something right? You don't put a restriction on that.
The
well,
law.
I would argue that like if you are a righteous person, that it doesn't feel like bondage to do the right thing.
Correct. Yeah. We're
Yeah,
not.
but how do you know what the right thing is, right? Like, do you guys eat pork?
No. That's why I told you. Pork destroys life. You see what I'm
Okay, but
saying?
you wouldn't know that
Hold up. Meat.
naturally.
Hold up. Meat, flesh. For one thing, we vegan, so we promote vegan, plant based. That's what we promote. And we promote these things because they are righteous. We see they righteous. They produce life. So when I see somebody eat meat, I would say that's unrighteous because that's straining your body. It's stopping your organ from reproducing. All kind of stuff that what meat do. So righteousness again is determined by if it's helping life or is it destroying life. Anything that's helping life, keep doing it. Don't stop. There's no restrictions. When it's destroying life, you got to put restrictions on it. Or you got to
Yeah,
get rid of totally. So that's when it's unrighteous. So that's how unrighteousness and righteousness is determined. It ain't got nothing to do with religion.
I'll blow I'll
None.
blow your I'll blow your mind a little bit. So all I eat is animal products. I don't eat any vegetables or anything like that.
You unrighteous then. Because if somebody came and
But
start
how do you
eating your
know?
kids, okay, if a
I've never
lion,
been healthier.
hold up, I just want to say this. If a lion decide to eat your child right now, that's cool, right? He hungry.
So that's fine. But then what you're doing is you're saying plants don't have the same moral, value as animals.
Well, no, because plants produce food. Animals don't make a child for you to unalive it and cook it.
But plants make
Plants do that.
make babies too.
Plants. No, when you got a fruit tree and you don't eat the fruit, what happened to the fruit?
It turns into a life,
What life?
a tree.
So you telling me every fruit drop, every seed you plant don't come into life?
Well, it's true.
So
And
the
not
fruit
every
don't.
time you have sex does it turn into life.
Listen. You are never destroying the seed when you eat the fruit. You can always plant the seed after you eat the flesh of the fruit. You cannot plant an animal after you eat the animal. You destroying the seed when you eat animals. You are literally destroying the seed. You're not doing that with. That's why even in fruit it comes with so much seeds. You can even eat a few seeds. You still gonna have some seeds left over in the original fruits because when you deal with original fruits, it comes with abundance. All this artificial fruit, you might get 2, 3 seeds in there. It ain't real. That's that. But you see, brother, fruit,
It's made to be
it's made
eaten.
it's made for the consuming, and you can also replant after you consume it. You can't do that with an animal.
I mean, it's true. Even if it passes through you, right, it still can turn into a tree
There you,
afterwards.
there you go. Even if you eat it, so that's even better. That put a stamp on it right there.
All right, so I'm gonna go. I just want to ask, do you guys have like a name for your movement or anything?
Everything on the website, brother, man.
All right, all
Our
right. Well,
ministry,
I appreciate your time.
our ministry is called the Lighthouse, though.
Okay, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All
Peace,
right, peace,
peace.
brother. He had a lot of sense. He had a lot of sense. He had a lot of sense. And like I say, even logical. But what's going on, brother? Peace, peace.
Peace, 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 man. I just got a couple questions, just off of confusion for me. Is it is it only descendants of Africans who's Israelites?
Well, according to the prophecy, but God chosen people of Africa. But all people gonna become Israelites because of the light. That's really what Israel was, more of an end time prophecy. Israel was the lineage, of people back then, and that's what get thrown off with a lot of people.
Okay. How do you what's your viewpoints on like mixations? Because I know I'm mixed down the line. Like I did my genealogy and stuff. I got some native, some Irish, some Scottish.
That's why I say, man, right now it's really about righteousness, brother. It's about righteousness. Whether you blue, brown, black, white, Chinese, Mexican, it's about righteousness. If you right, you're on God's side.
Okay. And I remember you pointed at one of the guys up there who sat on the throne earlier. What's your viewpoints on Haile Selassie? Did I say his name right? Haile Selassie.
Yeah, Haile Selassie.
Is he like also like one of the prophets or someone we should praise to?
Now you praise nobody but God. Now the thing about prophets, you supposed to respect and hear them. You're supposed to listen and take in what the prophet speaks, so you can give praise to God. So Haile Selassie, if any prophet is gone, you don't praise nobody in the ground. You see what I'm saying? So Haile Selassie was in a bad position. He did some good things. He did a lot of bad things. So I definitely wouldn't say praise him, but definitely look into more of what he did and the moves he made, which we also have a lot on the page. We have a few little clips about Haile Selassie, but definitely not praise him. To praise God, you got to adhere to the vessel that God chooses that's among you. God don't raise nobody out the ground. God don't send nobody from the sky. So yeah, so definitely, man, you don't have to give praise to Haile Selassie like a lot of Rastafarians do. That's not, they made him a Haile Selassie idol. And actually, he even stated, he said, "Do not make me a deity." And that's exactly what the Rastafarians have done. They have made him a deity. He said, "I'm not a deity."
Like Marcus Garvey, that's what Marcus Garvey, right? Who made him a deity or something like that?
Well, no. Marcus Garvey had let them, Marcus Garvey ministry was look to East Africa for a black king. You see what I'm saying? Like that was his whole ministry. So when Haile Selassie got crowned king of kings, people put that together and say, "Oh, this must be the man Marcus Garvey was talking about." But Marcus Garvey, after Haile Selassie ran from Ethiopia, Marcus Garvey called him a coward.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah, he called him a coward. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like people never tell the whole story. People just they leave a lot out, and that's why people be wondering. But yeah, so Marcus Garvey was telling people look to East Africa for a black king because Marcus Garvey was in contact with Ethiopia. That's what Marcus Garvey was taking us back to Ethiopia. That's what his whole movement was about. You see what I'm saying? So because his movement was to Ethiopia, and he was saying the black king is gonna come from Ethiopia. Again, Haile Selassie got crowned right at that time.
So why not West Africa? Like why specifically Ethiopia?
Well, because that's where the majesty was.
So the JEWS in West Africa, have you heard of them?
The JEWS
in West Africa?
Yeah. The person I wish I could remember his name, but basically they practice Judaism as well. So I was like, why like specifically East Africa if we came from West Africa?
Well, you got to remember, like a lot of East Africans also travel to other parts of Africa and other parts of America as well. Like even when we call Moors came from Abyssinia. Abyssinia is from Ethiopia. Like the oldest Bible comes from Ethiopia. The oldest Christianity comes from Ethiopia. these things have been spreaded once we started traveling.
Oh, so you saying we're originally from over there, from the east?
Well, like I said, you got black people from everywhere. But when you, like I said, when you deal with that's like the lion. The lion is not. The lion is from East Africa. The silverback. The silverback is from East Africa. The silverback ain't all over Africa.
Yeah.
They got monkeys all over Africa. But you know what? A silverback is only located in the East.
Okay.
So you had a group of people who was connected to the scriptures that was only located in the East. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was their job to spread the message. Like, we have to understand, you know, a monkey is not messed up because they're not a silverback.
Yeah.
They just as happy as the silverback, but they not a silverback. We have to bring that logic back into the world, because we have been told a lie that have pampered us to live in confusion. Every cat ain't a lion. You know,
So
the
what is
tiger be like, I'm gonna be a lion one day. Like, no, like, you know, every lizard ain't a crocodile.
what is Black Americans? Like, is we just Black Americans or?
Oh no. That's why I say, man, a lot of us are East Africans. Like
Oh,
you know,
that's what
you
you
gotta
mean.
understand.
Okay. I feel you.
America had a treaty with Ethiopia way back, bro. We talking about early 1800s. See, and so a lot of us came over here willingly. When they talk about slave ships, you wouldn't really know. You like, the only people who will rebel is like chiefs and kings.
Yeah.
And even our kings was enslaving our own people, because that's how
Working.
you know, you ain't have no guns and artillery to go to war with no king. So whatever your king said, you was gonna do. What you gonna do? No. What you gonna do? So, like,
Yeah.
we was very docile people. We wasn't we had warriors. Everybody wasn't a warrior. So it was time for us to come over here to America. Most of us wanted to come. We was being treated wrong. Our kings was acting like shit. So to go to another country to do better, shit, I'ma go. That's what
But we got
slavery was.
backstabbed over here though, right? By the white
Oh
man.
yeah. Of course, when we came over here, they started treating us bad. No, a lot of other stuff came in with it. So they were like, I want to go back home, but then you couldn't. So
What about what's his name? The Mali King before Mansa Musa?
I'll let you know. I don't know what Mansa Musa is, bro. Like, you know, like the people who and when I watch Hidden Colors, because I watch Hidden Colors. I don't know if you watch Hidden Colors.
I've heard of it.
That's when I first heard about Mansa Musa. You
Oh, I
know,
get what you're saying. I
see what I'm
get what
saying?
you're saying.
And a lot of these names, that's like right now, I got 3 different names. So if
Yeah,
you don't know
Judah.
me and somebody called me this and they write a story about me, they know me from this name. Somebody else know me from this name. So a lot of these African stories can be the same people. You see what I'm saying? Like because a lot of our history wasn't written. Africans wasn't write history because we was doing it. Like, we wasn't really, we was living it. The people who was watching us was writing history.
Missionaries.
So what you saying that, right? Because I kind of want to add on to it, kind of like a question. So while we was living, would it be safe to say that the white man was writing the Bible off the perspective of us, like watching this?
Well, no. The Bible was written before the white man came. But the teaching of it come from them. See, in Africa, we weren't teaching the Bible. Because we wasn't at the African proverbs, people believed it, but it wasn't no need to teach it because it was a vision.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to tell you a great mystery. When the white man came to Africa, they thought he was the prophet that the African proverbs spoke of, because they brought gifts. They brought music. They brought stuff that the Africans didn't have. So when they brought cameras and guns, they thought they was the gods. They thought the white man was sent from the gods. This is a whole nother level of understanding what truly went on in history. So that's what I'm saying. So the African proverbs was never taught. Why teach something when it's a vision? You don't constantly teach a vision. Why I'm gonna teach you a vision? I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, and you wait on it.
Yeah,
So when the
yeah.
white man showed up and it was different, a lot of Africans ain't never seen them. They are immediately consider them as the gods. So they start submit to them and helping them. They start feeding. They start doing everything good. But
Yep.
the white man was teaching the Bible.
Same thing with the natives, right? With the indigenous folks.
That's what I'm saying. That's what when they tell the story, they don't understand. You see them feather hats right there, bro?
Oh, yep. I see. I see it.
We ain't got nobody up here with feather hats. That's what we need to put somebody up there with a feather hat. I'm talking about with the native, like people in America.
Yeah.
These people wear feather hats, bro.
Oh, I thought that was one of them. Okay, okay.
You see what I'm
I know
saying?
what you're talking about, though.
Kind of like this, but like real feather hats, like you see American Indians wearing. Like they'll say, "This is American Indian." You know how in school we used to have to make the hats and put feathers on it in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these same people in East Africa wore that same attire.
Oh, so when you said earlier, like, um, basically, an African can have 1,000 names, or a king man can have 1,000 names,
I wouldn't say 1,000, but he can have different names. You know.
different names.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of what you're saying with the headdresses? Like different type of headdresses, but it still kind of like mean the same thing?
Well, no, I'm saying these are the natives.
Oh, you saying those are the natives?
Yeah, these are like who these people look like to you?
They look like Negroes.
Okay, all right then.
Oh,
You
so you
know,
saying the natives were Negroes?
that's just what like. When they tell us a lot of stories, man, they tell it from their perspective. They don't tell us what land. They don't
Mm-hmm.
really talk about, like when they talk about Pocahontas and all these things. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and when they talk about the Bible, these are the stories they tell.
Robin Hood.
You know,
Mm.
Peter Pan, all this, man, all this stuff is African. This is when they was going to Africa. The dinosaurs, like
Hmm.
when you think about dinosaurs, a lot of people don't pay attention to how big a giraffe is. A lot of people don't pay attention to how big, a African elephant is.
Hmm.
They don't have that in England.
They stole it.
So when they seen this, they was like, "What the hell?" You know how big a Nile
Oh,
crocodile is, man. You know,
I
you might
I
have seen a lizard
get
this
it.
big. Imagine seeing a lizard 20, 30 feet.
And something you ain't used to. You gonna
So
put a title to that.
that's a dinosaur. And then these people was going in
Mm-hmm.
jungles. Some of these jungles in Africa never been explored at all. Because they got stuff in there you just don't want to be around. So this is the dinosaur
Yep.
story. It ain't happening in America. But they're not gonna tell you the dinosaur story happened in Africa when they start seeing all them big ass animals they never seen before. Big lions, big birds, big walking birds, man. You know,
Nah, that's facts. Like
they
them
got
ostriches. Yep.
yeah. So they ain't never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Jurassic Park. Going
Oh
to
yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
most of these Disney stories is connected to Africa. They'll never tell you that though. They don't want you to know that.
So how should we go back to Africa? Like Black Americans, should we go back to
What
Africa?
should we go back? Well, man, we should run back. We should run back. We should have been, brother. You got $100,000 right now in Africa. You know what kind of money you have. You know how many black people touch $100,000 in America?
Yep.
A
Yep.
lot of us. Imagine if you was back home, man. That's probably 20 times, or some places 30 shit to 50 times.
Hmm.
That money would double.
Hmm.
And like I say, they got the same thing they got in Africa. They got here. They got streets. They got nice
Mm-hmm.
houses. They got malls. They got everything you got in America. So yeah, definitely. But we don't need to go back to Africa like this. We need to go back to Africa with a new mind.
With
Africa don't
new
need
mind.
Africa don't need America ends. No. We need real, ends. So we definitely going back, but like I say, we definitely going back with a new mind, man, to fix the world. Africa is the mother, man. It really pours into the world. It got so much resources, so much to offer, bro. Like especially if you're treating it good, and we gotta go back and take control of that.
Basically reversing it. So African currency should be, it should be reversed.
Yeah.
Because we have the resources that they want.
How does Africans like us though? Like when we go back, they gonna respect us?
Yeah, man, we don't get respect. Go in another neighborhood, see if you get see if a Black American. If you go right now in Chicago and walk up there, see if they ain't gonna check you.
Yeah, they gonna check you.
They gonna check you, right?
Yeah.
So we don't like each other over here.
Okay.
Once we change our mind, that's why I say, and man, let me tell you something, brother. You got this thing about the NBA.
Yep.
All the sports going to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Africa is 3 times bigger than America.
Mm-hmm.
You know what kind of revenue that gonna bring? Who controls sports?
Sure, us. We got the spending power.
Who are the owners though? Who are the owners of it?
Oh, the white man, the Jews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who bringing all the revenue?
Niggas.
Okay. So we need a government to govern what we bring in, because what we bringing in is benefit so many other people. And then they robbing us on top of that. Then they lying to us. So it's so much come behind us creating something to control what we do. We ain't got to worry about nobody else, because they gonna have to come to us.
But we've been taught that all of us is kings and queens. I don't think we know how to submit to another black man or to another source of power. If we really just know who the Most High, talk to the Most High, get familiar with the Most High, I feel like it'll be an understanding, because it's too much. There's no guidance. We don't have a black government.
Well, that's why we talk about, the order of God. People, like a lot of religious and Hebrew Israelite camps, they don't want to follow the true order of God. They want to pick and choose who they want to follow, which is still giving them deception.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. We just need to, the Most High, I feel like we went through a lot of pain, we through a lot of stress, and we went through a lot of generational curses where a lot of things is ignored, right? And I feel like with us getting back to, I guess, the word, things will be more understood as a common thought, a common belief, a common prayer.
Well, and that's why, brother, I think you have to understand, and I see what you're saying, but in a way, if we don't start over, because coming back to the Most High is almost like an invisible way, because how do we come back? Do we go to church? Some people gonna say, I gotta go to church to go back to the Most High. Some people say, I gotta read the Bible. Some people gonna say, I gotta get on the knees. So this is why stuff gotta be destroyed first. Because if we don't destroy the church, if we don't destroy the names, if we don't destroy the false worship, we can't get the people we need to build our kingdom, because they're going to always say you got to go to church. But once the church destroyed, they can't go there no more. Then they got to look to God. So this is the work that God is doing right now, is destroying a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why all this knowledge is out, all this fussing and fighting, because a lot of stuff is getting destroyed. So people mad, people biting, kicking and scratching. But this is all for the work and the benefit of our unity.
So we could rebuild.
So we could come together, because some people ain't gonna always look at the church as long as the church there. But what the truth doing? Destroying the church.
Yeah.
So the people got, I ain't going there no more, man. I gotta find me somewhere else to go. And then for those who looking for God, God gonna show up to them. But God is a message. This is what I tell people. If God just talked to us, it wouldn't be no prophets. Because God would have did that back then.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So what do? God send messengers. These messengers will put this message in the atmosphere. At this time, we got social media. So we ain't got to go to the radio. We ain't got to go to the news. We ain't got to go to CNN. We got social media. So our message can go wherever we want it to go. Especially if we unify. Because right now, I'm in Africa. I talk to people in Africa all the time.
Oh, you in Africa right now?
No, I'm saying I talk to people in Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the message is in Africa. I'm just showing you how God is working. But again, destruction got to come first because our people they won't leave that house until it's destroyed.
Dang, and it's crazy too, because you hit a point, because it's like we in 2025, everybody, it's at the point in time where everybody want to be like us and shit, everybody want to act black, be black, but we don't have that unity how we was in the 1930s.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
So it's like a test right now. Is we gonna fail? Is we gonna succeed? Heck yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna leave because I know you probably got more folks up here. I'm gonna keep myself updated, man. But heck yeah, bro. Hopefully, I could come back up here one of these days. We can have another conversation too, because I think I'm gonna have some more questions and stuff.
Okay, yeah, man. Like I say, check out the website, brother. Tap in with us, man. We have calls every Monday, brother. So
Okay.
if you want to get in on the calls and kind of speak with the family and share ideas, ask questions, or whatever, that's kind of what the call for, especially for new people who really have a lot of questions. And like I say, they might have some help or whatever. We do host calls. So if you send your information to the website, somebody will be able to link you in, and like I say, you can come in and chop it up with us.
That sounds great, man. That sounds great. Y'all have a great day. I'm gonna tap in.
All right, likewise, man. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, like a lot of people understand when Marcus Garvey was came with his movement, it wasn't no churches really. Wasn't nobody going no damn church and wasn't nobody locked in. It wasn't even you didn't even have a Nation of Islam. I'm gonna show you how cold it was. It wasn't even no Nation of Islam when Marcus Garvey was in America. Right after they sent Marcus Garvey home, the Nation of Islam popped up. Why y'all think it popped up? To get the people who ready to do something to calm them down. Shave off your mustache, brother. Put on a bow tie, brother. You're not finna fight no war, my boy. You're not fighting no war, my brother. Put that bow tie on. Get clean, boy. Get clean. Cause you ain't fighting no war. We gonna get that out you. Now we gonna act like we gonna dress it up and act like you finna fight something, but keep that bow tie on and shave all that off. That's what people who really ready to move. So y'all have to understand this. The Nation of Islam came right after they sent Marcus Garvey home. Y'all gotta understand how deep this stuff is layered to really, again, separate us. What was going on? Peace.
Hey, God. Hey, can I drop some knowledge on you real quick? So in 2019, I took the solar energies into my nature, which goes back to the ancient teachings of Memphis, right?
Oh, brother.
And my mind started vibrating.
Brother, I asked you this. Did I ask you? Did you ask me a question, right?
Yeah, brother.
Okay. And
I do want to ask you this.
But I just want to know what was my answer when you asked me the question?
I didn't ask the question.
So when you first came on, you didn't ask me no question?
You didn't respond.
Oh, you must not be looking at the screen.
Well, I'm halfway blind, man, but yeah, but yeah, man.
Like I say, right? Kind of when we get into knowledge, I don't really deal with man knowledge and wisdom. So if you want to get into a conversation, you got some questions, I start off that way.
Nah, what I'm saying is I'm God, I'm the Messiah, bro. So I visit your website, you know what I'm saying? I'm donating to y'all and I'm with the cause. But the thing is, every time I talk to your people, they try to silence knowledge, and my knowledge is universal. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they shouldn't be doing that because what I'm gonna drop is gonna unlock their intelligence. But no, the reason why I wanted to ask you was like,
your phone breaking up, brother.
Let me step outside for a second. No, I was saying I want to understand, how did you come to the understanding that you're the Messiah?
God. It was also revealed
to
me as only one at a time. Yeah, it was also revealed to me as only one at a time. So I guess I just had to meet you at the crossroad, my brother. But if you're gonna say the Messiah, I don't think we can walk together. Hopefully we can conversate so we can walk together. I'm not scratching it off the table. but we definitely can't walk together if you're the Messiah and I'm the Messiah. That's out of order. You know, because now the people gonna
You know, the
have
Messiah.
they're gonna have more than they're gonna have two masters.
Nah, they don't have no masters. It's gonna fight intelligence. I don't look at you in awe. You don't look at me in awe. We build and we construct the universe and give our people back their truth.
Well, brother, man, even when you got a football team or basketball team, you got positions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So Christ is a
The
position.
ancient but the ancient teachings teach that this God resides in all of us, but it's only activated in those who times it is the rule. And mine was activated in 2019, and I could drop the science on you about that. This universe.
All you trying to do is give me something I'm not asking for. That's not a Messiah.
Oh, that's not trying to give you anything.
Hold up, brother. That's not a Messiah complex.
What I'm saying is,
you don't have to give me nothing I'm not asking for. If I'm asking for it, give it to me. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is, the Messiah is a position, right or wrong.
Yeah, it's a position.
Okay, so does everybody hold the position of a Messiah?
Nah, not everybody levels of vibration.
Okay, so does more than one person hold the position of the Messiah?
Nah, it's only one true Messiah, but yet we all God, right? We not all equal.
Hey. Now you dancing with the stars, now, bro. Now you,
bro. I'm not knocking you. I'm telling you, God, but I'm also saying I took the soul in you.
Brother, you hold up. You gotta be knocking me, because how you gonna call me a Messiah and support me, but then say it's only one Messiah? So you trying.
What I'm saying is,
it's cool.
Hey, what I'm saying is you God, but I'm not saying you the Messiah. I'm not saying you the Messiah. I'm saying I'm the Messiah. I'm saying you got to understand this. And what I'm saying is your people are trying to knock the truth. They're trying to silence me. But I'm here now. And I ain't going nowhere. Hey, it's either you can accept this truth or you can hate it.
Hey, well, brother, I'm pretty sure we already let you know where we stand. We're not having it, bro. So, like I say, I told y'all I'll meet you at the crossroad. That's if you a Messiah, okay. Go ahead, bro. I don't believe it.
Hey, I'm just saying, reach out to me offline, bro. I'm gonna chop it up. I got some stuff going on.
No, I'm good, bro. You the Messiah. I just told you we can't walk together. Now we can conversate, we can walk together.
The universe gonna guide me no matter what.
Okay, then. So that's cool. So continue to do your Messiah work. I'm gonna continue to do mine.
I'm just saying,
but two Messiahs
you gotta quit misleading people.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
You gotta quit misleading people, because I'm the Messiah.
Hey, that ain't gonna happen, brother. So, we'll
appreciate many false prophets will come. That's the church.
Okay, but stop, and guess what I would do? Don't donate to a false prophet. I would never donate to a false prophet, brother. You said you donated to.
I'm donating to the cause. I'm donating to the cause. I don't care about what you claim yourself to be. I'm donating to the cause, because I believe in nation building. But you can't build a nation until you build gods. If the true God, you can't really build gods, because gods stand on truth and it's universal.
Why are you?
So if you can't speak the science to me, you're talking rhetoric, you're talking grammar. That's an occult science. This is how they tricked us. So if you can't drop the science, I can't hear nothing you say.
Hey, my 10 toes is my science. Watch me walk.
Hey, well, look, I'm watching you.
Oh, I know.
We all know. We all can see that.
Peace. People all want some science. They don't want real life. Reality check. The only check my people don't want to cash is that goddamn reality check, boy. It's $1 million on the reality check, and you still don't want to cash. What's going on? E to the A.
How you doing, guys?
Peace.
What's going
on? I'm just having some questions. The last time I saw you live, it says that Ethiopia used to be colonized, and now it says the devil teaches the Bible. I'm in Ethiopia myself, and I was wondering what you're trying to accomplish out of this.
So basically, it's about reconnecting the true understanding of the Bible and how it connects to the throne of David that's in Ethiopia.
Okay. I don't know if I'm wrong, but we are the first ones to take Muslims as refugee. I think it was in 18th centuries, yeah?
Say it again. I ain't really understood what you said.
Uh, from my history, well, from what I get from my education, it says that in Ethiopia, Ethiopia is the first country to take Muslims as a refugee.
As refugees, first people.
Yeah.
The first people to take Mussolini as a refugee?
Muslim.
No, Muslims,
Oh,
Muslims.
Muslim? Okay, okay.
Muslim people.
Well,
I think
yeah.
the king was King Al Najashi, because at that time we didn't have King of Kings, so Ethiopia used to have 14 regions and there are 14 kings.
That movie you watched, the black man that was sitting on the thing.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't watch the movie. It's not from the movie. It's from. This is the history
No,
which they give us in
no,
Ethiopia. I'm in Ethiopia, bro.
I'm saying that they made a movie about it, brother. They made a movie about it. Everything you saying. What's the name of that movie?
Messenger.
It's called The Messenger.
That's right, man. That's right.
Yeah. I'm saying.
But I didn't watch the movie, but I heard that Ethiopia Ethiopia is the first country to take Muslims as refugee. It was not Arabs. It was not Mecca. It was not anywhere, because I think they exercise Islamism in Ethiopia first.
Well, yeah. See, that's why I tell people the Mecca. They got a place in Ethiopia, and it's called Mecca.
Mecca is in Saudi Arabia, I think.
Horror or something like that.
Yeah. That's the Mecca. That's the. Like I say, the Europeans switched Israel and Mecca and put it in the Middle East. Like this was by design. This stuff was by design to take the world away from the place where the Bible come from. All this was planned. You know, the moves they made.
Yeah, but I get that. The last time you guys say Ethiopia used to be colonized, and when I follow, because I don't have that knowledge that Ethiopia used to be colonized, but when I follow you guys said like we are semi-colonized, yeah.
Yeah, like
But we didn't know about it. We didn't know about it.
yeah, like Ethiopia has the oldest Christianity, but they don't follow
Yeah.
their traditional Christianity. They
Yeah,
follow
I like what you said about that when you guys say that they take the black pictures of our Christianism and they put white pictures for the church, yeah?
Yeah, it's not only about the pictures though; it's also about the doctrine that they still believe in. The whole world believes Christ came 2,000 years ago,
Yeah.
and that's
But we don't follow that calendar. Yeah? Ethiopians don't follow that calendar.
they probably don't follow the calendar, but they will say that Christ came 2,000 years ago.
So why we don't follow the Europeans calendar? Because it says the same thing, yeah?
No, you still do, because you follow AD, you follow BC dates. Those aren't European. Those aren't Ethiopian dates. Those are Roman dates.
So you guys saying we use ADs and BCs, not using Ethiopian calendar? Because I don't know about that.
Well, it's like because Ethiopians accept the history from the Romans. Ethiopians don't follow their own history. You know how many Ethiopians we talk to? They don't know nothing about their ancient kings. A lot of
Most
Ethiopians.
most of the things you guys talking about, I don't know. They never give me an education about that. I took history from 6th grade up to university, but we don't do that. We only get this king fight with that king at this time. That's it, man.
That's it. Yeah, it's a reason why, and that's why
But
a lot of
we
Ethiopians
get
believe in Jesus.
more histories about the Westerns. We get more histories about the Western. If the book is half of it is about the Western, but about our history is only little. And I was I was surprised when you guys talk about Ethiopia like this, and we didn't know about it, man.
Well, yeah, man. Like I said, and so that's why we bring this information, because we talk about Jesus, because Jesus is the colonization of African people. Like African people, any African that believe in Jesus is colonized. It's just that simple, you know. Because Jesus ain't coming back. God is coming back, and God gonna choose people like God did in the Bible. God ain't never bring nobody down from the sky. God always chose people. The way Ethiopia got his royalty not from Jesus. Jesus ain't do nothing for Ethiopia. So why do Ethiopians worship Jesus? These kings, some of these kings is the reason why Ethiopia is still standing.
I know that,
Ethiopian
man.
majesty come from his kings. It don't come from Jesus. So Jesus came from the colonizers. Now the prophecy is true, but the story that they told us is not. And everybody have adopted that same story, whether you East African, whether you West African, whether you South African, whether you African American, whether you
Yeah,
Jamaican.
yeah.
Everybody believe in the same Jesus, which is the same colonization that's on every African mind. You know, and so that's the colonization we talk about. And when you talk to Ethiopians, a lot of them won't accept that. But that's the truth
Yeah,
because
I saw
I
that one. I
want to
saw
say
that.
this: when you go to DC, Washington DC in America, and you go
Yeah,
to the Ethiopian churches, they got more
yeah.
white paintings of Jesus than black.
So how come we change to the black from the originals to the white pictures, man? That's
Colonization.
exactly because
Colonization.
they told us we never been colonized, man.
Yeah,
They
Yeah,
but
never
that's a
get
lie.
to
that's
the
a
church. They
lie.
never get to the church. They never get to the monasteries. They never get to the big monasteries that are in seas,
Why they
in the
didn't teach
middle of lakes, man.
Well, brother man, this is why they
Yeah,
didn't teach y'all about Tedros.
yeah,
Tedros,
yeah. The king told us, yeah,
Tedros was the last king to imprison the missionaries that was in Africa.
yeah.
I'm gonna
From
say it
Britain, yeah,
again.
from England,
He's
yeah,
the
from England,
last king
yeah,
to put the missionaries in prison. That's why Great Britain,
yeah. He kidnapped them, yeah,
yeah, that's why Great Britain attacked him. Great Britain
yeah,
didn't attack Ethiopia. They didn't
yeah.
attack all the rest of the kings. They attacked
Just
Tedros.
Gondar, just Gondar, yeah. That's
Yeah,
just the
yeah,
northern part,
yeah.
man.
It's
Yeah,
Tedros. So
yeah.
this was by design because Tedros
Okay.
wasn't gonna stand for the missionaries changing the Christianity doctrine that they had. This is what he's like. Y'all doctrine is different from our Christianity. We don't teach that way.
Let me tell you the history I learned in schools, man. They tell us that Tedros asked for military support from the Britons, but he didn't get it on time, so he kidnapped the missionaries. That is the history we get in school, man.
How you gonna kidnap people that wasn't there? That's not from there. That it don't make sense.
And there was a second thing that those missionaries, they're supposed to be missionaries, yeah?
Yeah.
And after he kidnapped them and he forced them to make weapons. And the first weapon they make is, I think, this a cannon,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it only fires once and they stop.
Mm-hmm. It
And
did.
I think they put it in the capital in Addis Ababa. It's as statue, I think.
Mm.
This is the history we get, but you guys are telling us that they were coming to change our religion, and we
Oh yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
about it. No one.
Look,
Look up
hey,
Tedros'
hold up.
post.
Look up the
Yeah,
letters that Tedros wrote to Queen Victoria. When
I
you get
don't.
out this live, look up the
Yeah,
letters that Tedros wrote. It's in
where
his
can I find that?
letters. And
Where can I
then
find that?
you know what he said? He said, if you come make war with me, it's
Yeah,
treason.
yeah,
He called it treason. So right
yeah.
now, this is why we tell people we still have a case. Because the royal crown does not belong in Great Britain because of the things that they have done.
Okay.
Because of the crimes they committed. Like all this stuff they still have to go to trial for. But if don't nobody know about it, ain't nobody gonna take them to trial.
Let me tell you one side of my history, man. I think at the war, Queen Elizabeth asked for to bring him alive, King Tedros. Do you know about that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Then
she didn't want him. She didn't want him. Yeah, she wanted him alive.
he refused, and he killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest soldiers from Britain, he bring back his son. I think his name is Alamayo.
Correct.
Yeah, he was here in England. I think up to 21 years old, and they say he died in depression or stress or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know all about it, bro. You know, his wife, Tedros' wife, also died on the way to Great
Yeah,
Britain.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Those
yeah.
things are fact. Yeah, those things are fact.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's fact.
It's just the reason why they come. Those missionaries come to Ethiopia is what we don't heard about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they came to get information. They came to get information to use against you. So that's why people don't know about Ethiopian history, because they always say, "Oh, Ethiopia has never been colonized," so we don't even look into their history. Even Ethiopians don't look into their history, because if you're never colonized, it should be the whole history should be all good then.
So like
Hold
people are saying we are more
on one
colonized
second,
than
bro.
the other African countries, yeah?
But no, hold
That
on.
we didn't know about it, yeah? Yeah, man.
No, because they ain't have no news. Like when stuff, the way you heard about stuff back then, you had messengers. So if your messenger ain't bring it to you, you ain't get the
Yeah.
news. You ain't get the news to your messenger guy here. But see, this the cold thing about a lot of these
I'm
missionaries.
not I'm not really sure about this one, but when they defeat them, when they defeat,
I'm going to show you something because somebody asked a good
yeah,
question in the comments.
yeah.
Somebody say we do not know the missionaries. That's a lie. Most of the stuff
No,
in
we
Africa.
know there was, yeah,
Hold on. Most of the monuments in Africa is named after the missionaries that came from Europe. Let me say it
yeah,
again. Most of the monuments in East Africa is named after the missionaries that changed the doctrine. This is how cold the story is. You see what I'm saying?
You saying we have monuments for the missionaries?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
in
got
Africa, still to this
Where?
day.
they got churches, they got
In
hospitals.
Africa or in Middle East, East Africa?
In East Africa, yes, in East Africa. What? No, do they have
Where,
one?
man? Where? Where? Tell me one of the monuments.
I don't know Ethiopia.
No, the one. Church. What does Church George?
Oh yeah, St. George.
Yeah, Saint George. The church. That's not an
Yeah,
Ethiopian
Saint
name.
George. Saint George.
Yeah, that's not an Ethiopian name.
No, we don't call it Saint George, man. We call it Gorgis.
Yeah, but you don't call it that.
Kudus
But
Gorgis. We call it Kudus Gorgis.
when
But
you
that's the English name. Saint George is an English name.
English
it's
name, yes.
yeah, it's an English,
Yeah, but
but they're the
in
ones who
Amharic we call it Kudus Gorgis. For all of them, we have Michael. Yeah, we have
Well,
Michael. Yeah, we call it Kudus Michael, Kudus Mikhail in Amharic. But you guys can call it Saint Michael. Yeah.
yeah, but a lot of people don't know about these missionaries, and they don't understand.
And that's the Saint George, the one you say in Addis Ababa.
Yeah,
That
Saint
is
George.
one of
But
one of
I might have been.
the I don't know what you call it.
it probably is some.
One of the church's
I,
things
I might
that
have been
what they
too
took.
far fetched when I said it's in Ethiopia,
Yeah,
but it's in Kenya.
Congo,
I don't know that.
They got one in Kenya, in the
Yeah,
Congo,
yeah,
Uganda,
yeah.
Zimbabwe, and I think you said one in West Africa. Ghana. Was it Ghana?
There's one in Ghana.
There's one in Ghana. So, like I said, I might have been a little far fetched when I said Ethiopia,
No, it's
but
alright,
I
man. It's
said
alright,
East
man.
Africa. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like all that's still East Africa. But like I said, a lot of missionaries couldn't come in at Tedros' time because when
Yeah.
they came in, they was writing about Tedros. This
Yeah,
how they
I
was
believe
writing
that, man. I
stories.
believe that. I just didn't know what the intention was, man. I believe that because
Yeah,
on my history side, what we heard is they came to do to just to visit Ethiopia or to do something, but he was refusing. He was, I think they say he was asking for support, but he didn't get it on time from the British.
yeah.
Well,
That's the excuse.
well, you
Yeah,
gotta
that's
you
the
gotta
excuse.
also
It could be the excuse.
you gotta also
And
understand
we
about.
definitely know, yeah. What you say?
No, I'm just saying you gotta also, like, after Tedros, you gotta realize his brothers went against him. So you have Johannes that was also in Ethiopia, that was in
Yeah.
Eritrea, that was
Yeah,
going against him.
he rise after Tedros. He rise after Tedros. He was
Yeah,
from
he
the
worked.
northern side as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but he worked with the British to defeat Tedros.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
We have a history about that. They say Johannes bring the British to Tedros' doorsteps.
Exactly.
That's true.
Could be the
That's
rumors.
true.
I'm not really sure about that. If
No,
any
no, no,
Ethiopian
no,
heard me
no,
that,
no, no. Listen, see, people don't understand the route. See,
yeah,
they don't show us the route that the
yeah,
Europeans had to go to get to Tedros.
yeah.
And this is why Tedros went to Magdala. So if the only way they can get to Tedros if the other Ethiopians cooperated. If Tedros
And
brothers would have stood beside him, it was no
like
way
they
Great
said,
Britain could have
bro,
came in.
like they said, the reason they couldn't get to Tedros is we have 10 months of summer. You understand, yeah?
What is that? Say it again. You got
Yes.
what?
We have 10 months of summer. 10 months of summer.
I don't understand that.
Summertime. Oh, Ethiopian summertime is 10 months, man.
Oh, the years.
Yeah, 10 months. We have 10 months of summertime, sunny times.
Oh yeah, rain. Like
Yeah,
mud
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, rain,
Summertime,
yeah.
man. Summertime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about my
But
English.
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't that. You
Yeah,
still
yeah.
have to go through other
And we
tribes.
only have 2 months of rain. And whenever those British people come to attack Teros, all those rivers are dry, so they couldn't navigate where they go, man. You
I know,
understand,
but,
eh?
but you gotta understand this too, brother. They still had to pass through the other princes of the land to get the Tedros. It just wasn't empty land. It was other tribes. That's why. This is why. What's his name? The brother.
Johannes,
Johannes.
Johannes,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is why Johannes had to help them. Johannes had to feed them and everything. They wouldn't have even survived. Like that's what I'm saying. We don't know the story, and we was never taught the story.
So you
But once you
saying
go into the
Tedros
story,
asked for help, Tedros asked for help, but they change and they help Johannes, yeah?
yes, because
That's what you sound say, yeah?
Yeah, but the war was about
And
5
in the
the
middle of that,
war was about
yeah?
5 months. It didn't happen just in one day. It happened.
I
It
know, I
happened
know.
a long time for them to get to
Yeah,
Tedros.
y'all don't even.
yeah.
See, this is what you don't know. They built the whole city. They came in January. They built a city, and they built a small city.
Where?
Then they invaded Magdala. See,
Where
this is
they
what
build a small city now?
they built a small city. They laid railroad tracks and everything before they went into
Where
Magdala.
they build it, man? Where they build it?
I don't know the exact place. We could look it up. I don't. I don't
I
know
think
the.
for my knowledge, the
Hold
British
on,
came through the Sudan, yeah? They came through Sudan to
No,
get
brother.
to
They built
Tedros.
the whole city, man.
What's the guy's name again?
If it is in Ethiopia, I will be very surprised, man.
It's called look up a harbor
The
city.
harbor city.
Where is located?
Let me get it, man. I got it. Um, it was called Camp.
Where?
Hold up. No, these are my roads.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know if I really highlighted it where it's exactly. But I might have to get that for you. You find it like
It's
where?
alright. It's alright, bro. Let's go after Tedros. So everything starts the changing of this our religion, everything. This semi-colonized start after Tedros. Yeah, we was talking about that.
Correct.
So what about the history after Tedros?
That's what I'm
Like
saying. At the Tedros, you had
at the
Johannes.
time of
Hold up. That's what I'm
Menelik,
saying.
because Menelik was the last king who
No,
united
hold up.
Ethiopia. He was the last king.
No, ain't nobody uniting Ethiopia. Ethiopia been going down ever since the 1800s, brother. Ethiopia has been going down. History have been stripped. People have been taken ever since the 1800s. This is why Tedros rose up and became king of kings to go against all the princes of the era. You notice before Tedros, it wasn't no kings; it was just princes. Voila, Tedros became king. Then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
other kings because something
yeah. After
changed.
him, Johannes. After that, Menelik. But the
But you gotta
only king,
understand. That's why.
the only was
Hold up,
they
brother.
call King of Kings.
You're not. That's what. So something changed. So what I'm telling you, after Tedros got unalive, Johannes was
Yeah.
friends with Great Britain. I don't know how
Okay.
much you could look this up. Johannes was friends after the war. Johannes got a whole bunch of military weapons. You know where he got it from? Great Britain.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like this is like, why do you think that Johannes got a ship that came to Ethiopia with a bunch of ammunition?
Yeah.
But why? Because of the favor he did for the
Yeah.
lieutenant to get
Yeah.
Tedros. So
Yeah.
this is why Ethiopia been going down ever since. So by the time Haile Selassie got on the throne, now Menelik, he did what he could, but Menelik made a lot of I would
And
say
he was
young
enough
descendants.
one to unite the kingdoms, man. He united 14 kingdoms, man.
Well,
That's
what
what.
I say, everybody can do good, but did they
Yes.
do something that was gonna sustain Ethiopia? So Menelik didn't do nothing that was gonna sustain Ethiopia. I'm not saying he don't have no good works. You know, he do have a lot of good things he did, but he made a
Yeah.
lot of wrong decisions. You
Who?
know, now
Menelik.
why he made those decisions? Like I say, we can't really point the finger, but the truth is the truth. You know,
It was the port of Zula.
Port of Zula.
that's what the city was.
And they also built railways and roads networks
That went
to
all the way to Magdala.
transport men and equipment from the coast of the highlands, where Tedros II fortress at Magdala was located.
Yeah, Magdala is in northern side of Ethiopia. But I
Yeah,
was trying to understand where they come from. Did they come through Sudan? Did they come through Eritrea? Did they come through? That's the point. You
No,
understand? Yeah?
they came through where Johannes was.
they came through three
North
areas.
Oh, so,
Ethiopia. Johannes was in.
so
Johannes was the
they came
king.
from. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, he was the king. He was the at that time.
the only way the British could come is by sea. Yeah, at that time.
Yeah, and
The,
and
the,
and that's
the
where
only
Johannes
way
was.
they get to,
That's why it was
yeah, the only way they get through Magdala is if they come through Sudan or Eritrea.
Port Zula is central Eritrea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
Well,
So
was
that's
not in
where they came from.
Ethiopia. Yeah, I understand.
and that's why again that's why they had to have Johannes' cooperation. Without
Yeah.
Johannes cooperating, they couldn't even get there.
I told you, bro, they couldn't navigate Ethiopia because there is no water, there is no
Oh, that's what I'm
nothing,
saying.
man.
So they had to
Yeah,
have help from the natives.
yeah, yeah, I know about that. They have help, but
That's all we saying.
everybody was everybody was to ignore that Johannes helped them because this is a big accusation for some of the people who live in the north side. You understand? Yeah.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah. Truth hurts. You know, you ever heard the saying? The truth
That's what
hurts.
I'm saying. We saying they worship this king for a lot of years. Now we saying he's a traitor. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I understand that. That's why I say the truth hurts. The truth ain't. The truth is not going. You can't water down the truth to make somebody feel good.
That's
Now,
like,
and you can't. That you can do that with the lie. The truth don't work that way. That's why you ever heard the old saying, "The truth has no friends." So the truth is not here to be nobody friend. You gotta love the truth. The truth ain't got no love for you.
that's like Rastafarians with Haile Selassie.
Yeah, they worship
It's
him.
a, it's a
Yeah.
So yeah, so like I said, man, it's a lot of stuff that have to be taught. Once these things are taught and shown, you can't deny it.
I always think that there was something missing, but I was thinking like it was not at the time of Teros or it was not at the time of Minilik. I was thinking like that 5 years that Haile Selassie go to British at that time. I was thinking like we change everything. We get
No,
semi-colonized. But you saying it was like started from Tedros.
there you
That's
go. Yeah,
yeah,
that started from Tedros. And a lot of people understand, just like Haile Selassie went to Britain and
yeah,
Johannes was cool with Great Britain, a lot of
yeah.
other Ethiopian princes, because Great Britain had guns to offer. And and once the Europeans started coming to Africa showing the African guns, they wanted that. So all the princes are what? Are be friends with Great Britain so they can get guns. So what? They can have protection.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so so this is why we say, man, a lot of stuff just ain't really told to show you why Ethiopia is colonized, and it's not really about war. It's
Yeah.
more about your mental
But
because of what the kings was doing.
uh, if you explain this to some of the Ethiopian people, they wouldn't take it, bro. Because this is definitely saying we get colonized more than the other Africans, man. You understand, yeah? But we know we never been colonized for too much years. You understand me, yeah?
Oh, I definitely, yeah, I definitely get it, man. Trust
The,
me.
the way the way you say it, the way they colonize us is out of this world, man.
Well, you gotta think about like they went to the strongest part of Africa, and that was East Africa. You
Yeah,
know, and this is why they British out of all places in Africa, East Africa, they was fond of You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is stuff they write about. Out of all
Yeah.
the places in Africa, East
Yeah.
Africa, they had 2 world wars about East Africa.
Yeah.
Like that's what World War I and World War II was about. What European country gonna get East Africa?
Yeah. But
What
I even
was it gonna
heard
be? Germany? Was it gonna be Berlin, or was it gonna be Great Britain?
Roma. Yeah.
And you know, of course, Great Britain
Yeah.
won,
Yeah.
and they the ones that's been controlling East Africa from the outside since they unalived Tedros. I put it that just to keep it real. Now so I won't hurt people's feelings. I say really after Menelik left, it was over with. Once Menelik, because they were still a little afraid to come in Ethiopia because Menelik had a lot of people under his command. He had the king of Wallo, so they was like,
Yeah.
we ain't gonna really mess with him right now. They got too much power.
Yeah.
But over the years, while Menelik was on the throne, they was just watering the Ethiopians down, causing conflict. So
Yeah.
once Menelik got off the throne, because Menelik was on the throne for like 24 years or something like that,
Yeah.
and he didn't really have nobody to put on the throne. So his
So he
daughter
did.
took
Yeah.
the
So did
throne.
Zodi
But
too. Yeah.
but see, when Zatu took the throne, that pissed the Europeans off. They like Menelik put a woman on the throne to deal with us. That's why she had to make Haile Selassie the I don't know what title he did, but he was the one that went and talked to the men because Zatu can deal with foreign affairs.
Because his son was a Duke of Harar. He sent his son to be a Duke of Harar. He have a son, Ras Makonnen, which is Haile Selassie's father.
Who? No, that was Menelik's cousin. That wasn't Menelik's son.
Ras
Menelik,
Makonnen. It
no,
was
that's
his
not
son.
Menelik's son.
Menelik have two children, Zodi to and Makonnen, Ras Makonnen. And Ras Makonnen was a Duke of Harar. After that, Haile Selassie born, and
No,
that's how follow man.
you talking about him
Ras
right here? You
Makonnen.
talking about
Ras Makonnen, yeah. The one above that. No, not the little one. The one with the fur.
No, this is King of
No,
Wallo.
not that one. Not that one, man. The
I know
one
him.
beneath Menelik. The one beneath Menelik. No,
Right here?
up little. Yeah, that one, Ras Makonnen, and he's up there after also over Menelik.
Yeah, this is
Ras Makonnen.
Zatu husband.
Huh?
This is
Zodi
Zatu
husband.
husband.
I don't know, bro. But Ras
Yeah, that's what
Makonnen,
I'm telling you. Yeah, this is
Menelik have Ras Makonnen, his son.
no. This man
You
right
give
here
him
is
the-
Zatu husband. Now, who this is? I don't know if that's the same man or not. I don't know, but I know this right here is Zatu
From
husband.
my history side, Menelik have Ras Makonnen as his son, and he give the key of Harar after the Battle of Adwa, man.
Oh no, you talking about? Let me see.
Ras
You
Makonnen. Ras
No.
Makonnen.
Raj McCullen.
Yeah.
No, him right
Yeah.
here. This is
Tell
Raj
me
McCullen.
the real name, the real before Haile Selassie's name.
Yeah,
Not the throne name, but Haile Selassie's name is Teferi Makonnen.
correct. Yeah. It say his father. Yeah. Now he
Makonnen
did
is his
go.
father. Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
That is Ras Makonnen.
no.
That is Ras
That's
Makonnen.
not Menelik. I don't. That's not Menelik's son.
No, it's
Yeah, that's not Menelik's son.
That's what
No.
I learned, man. That's what I learned.
Oh yeah,
man.
no,
That's
it's not his son.
that's
Yeah, that's Haile Selassie's father, but him and Menelik was cousins. According to
Really?
what I that wasn't his father. No, I don't.
But
Because Menelik.
when I'm taking history, they say after the Battle of Adwa, because Ras Makonnen did good, Menelik give him the key of Harar as a
Correct.
duke, to be a duke, yeah.
Now, that part is true because Menelik was the king, and like, he made him like a governor of a certain region. So you are correct.
That's all. That's like his son. He give to make him a governor of Harar. He make his son a governor of Harar.
Yeah. That was, but
Yeah,
it wasn't
maybe I
his
could be
real
wrong.
son.
Maybe I could be wrong, but that's what I learned, man.
Okay, yeah, but that wasn't his son.
Yeah, and then after 5 years, Zodi to die, and Ras Makonnen came from Harar, and then he give his throne to Haile Selassie, and Haile Selassie continued the journey.
Oh no. Haile Selassie took throne when she passed away. Like that's why he didn't.
He only ruled for 5 years, for 5 years, I think, eh?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she wasn't on that alone. She was on that. Yeah, like I said, he went to war with Haile Selassie, and once they went to war,
Yeah.
again, he got unalive, and soon as he got unalive, that's when she passed away, and that's when Haile Selassie got on the throne. So Haile Selassie was like the next man up. It wasn't like he was. He didn't do no works to get the throne.
He was like the last man standing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So that's why I say, man, you know, this story is going to be told in a whole nother way. It's going to be told in a true way. And like I said, it's going to bring more respect back to the throne, because this throne that we are talking about belongs to God. This is not a throne where people can put their emotion on and say, I don't want it. The whole Bible talk about this throne going to last forever. And so we see how long the throne has been. Nobody has sat on it. It haven't been no 400, 500 years. Haile Selassie passed away in the 70s.
Yeah.
So we got about 50 years? We got like 50 years since nobody has sat on the throne, and now what? God is finna bring all this back, but not to hurt Africa, but to help Africa and Ethiopia and the rest of the world. Like a lot of people are focused on seeing, oh, if the throne come back, we gonna no, it's not, because this is gonna be established by God, because the Bible tell you our kings did evil. The Bible talk about the kings doing wrong. So
do you guys think the Western sent the Derg regime to overtake Haile Selassie?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely America. Yeah, the man that overthrew Haile Selassie, he came to America. He went to school in DC. He went to school in DC. So he was that's why I say, man, a lot of stuff came from the outside that we know nothing about.
Yeah, a lot of
no, I'm saying, bro, the government was the Derg regime, and they were communist, yeah.
Yeah, but
and
we
did
say
you think
those
did you
leaders
think
went to
the
America.
Western said those? Yeah.
Yeah, those leaders went to America to get taught. They went to training in America, and then
they go to Cuba.
I was saying they came back to Ethiopia, so they all had an agenda.
Yeah, of course, the communist thing that came from the Westerns, but I was not just sure that the Westerns have a hand to finish the throne legacy of Ethiopia.
Oh yeah,
because the Derg regime was a proper military side, like the proper Europeans, yeah.
Yeah, there's also an article where it talks about Haile Selassie's grandson. I forgot his name, but he talks about the death of Queen Elizabeth and says that how Haile Selassie gave the British Empire the highest orders within the Solid-minded gift. So the Ethiopians, the higher ups of Ethiopia, also know about the infiltration when it comes to the British Empire and Ethiopia. They just don't tell the people.
Yeah, it's a secret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a secret.
All right, guys. I had too much information. I gathered too much information from you guys. Thank you for your time. Have a nice one, yeah?
Right,
likewise, brother. Peace, man.
Yeah.
It's a good conversation, man. So, that's the Ethiopian with a whole understanding of, because the manifestation of what they tell us, it don't add up. So when you start asking questions, that's like a one thing about a child. A child never say, "I know what you're talking about." A child listening. So when you really able to listen, then you can receive information, and you know what to do with it when you receive it. You know to spit it out, or you know, man, I need to digest this. So anybody taking in information, the way you take in information, you have the mind frame to digest it, and you have the mind frame to spit it out. But when information making you mad, that's when you know what side you on. Because when you tell the truth, you only shame the devil. Everybody else gonna be like, "What he say?" Man, I'm gonna spit that out. I'm taking that in. But when you frustrated, you know what side you on. You on the devil's side. The truth frustrates the devil. But to regular people, even the people like, well, if I heard him at first, I ain't believe none of that, man. I spit all of it out. But shit, now I'm eating it all. That's what a regular person gonna do, not the devil. But somebody who the devil, when they hear the truth, it's gonna shake them. It's gonna shake them like, oh man, well what? And see, a lot of people, you think they're not of the devil because they go to church every day, they read their Quran every day, they do all these religious practices that they hide behind. But if the truth make you mad, you know what side you on. Yeah, see, you ain't gotta accept the truth right then. But if it make you mad, you know what side you on. You know what side you on, y'all. You know. So yeah, man, that was a good conversation with the brother. You know, it's good to talk to an Ethiopian man because we bring out a lot of information about Ethiopia. To hear Ethiopian, you know, and like he know, man, you can't say this. I don't know, you can't talk this kind of stuff, bro. You can't. I don't know how you gonna get this, and I get it. But that's why again, we're not here to speak for friends. We're here to tell the truth. You say we your brother, we your sister. We not your friend. You know, you go get friends out in the street, in the club or whatever. We not your friends. We your brother and we your sister. So we gonna tell you the truth. You know how your brother could tell you when the outfit ugly. Your friend might not. Your friend will be worried about your feelings gonna get hurt. Your brother, hey man, shit ugly. Take it off. That's how your brother gonna talk to you. You see what I'm saying? And you ain't gonna really get mad about it because why? You know that's your brother. You know that's your sister. Nah, sis, take that shit off, sis. That's ugly. Your sister can tell you. Your sister can speak her mind to you. A friend can't. Nah, man, your sister can tell you whatever. I know that's how it is. We can say whatever, you know. But somebody else, they can't say that. You can't do that. So only your real brother or sister should be able to tell you the truth. And that's what we show up as, your brothers and sisters, to tell you the truth. So if it hurt, you know, we your brother or sister. So it's out of love. So take that lie off. That shit ugly. And we gonna tell you that every time we see you. You know. But it's out of love.
Man, I'm out there doing nothing when I could just.
All right, peace, sis. What's going on?
Peace.
I didn't mean to come up. The phone be jumping and doing all type of stuff.
All right, sis. I'll drop you down.
All right, okay. Peace. Well, family. How we going? What we started? 2 hours?
I think so. About
2 hours.
11?
Yeah. Like I said, we're just gonna come on here, y'all. Give y'all a little, give y'all a little bit. Share the truth. So I think we might end it with a good conversation. We haven't been to Ethiopia. No, we haven't. Can you give us a receipt?
A recap.
A recap of the discussion. We'll try to clip it. I think that conversation might last an hour. But we always post our lives on YouTube. So if you go to the website right there, if you click on the link, we got the YouTube link in the bio. You got YouTube. If not, just go to the website though. But all our lives, if they don't block us, the lives get posted on YouTube, and that's at Yaju Judah. Yeah, all our lives. So it might take a day or two, but you can catch all the lives that we have on the YouTube, and that's at Yaju. But y'all, that's it, man. Y'all know what we're doing. We nation building, y'all. We tearing down the devil. So right now, this is the time of destruction. I know a lot of people don't like doing demolition work, so that's why a lot of people refute us. A lot of people say, I don't see nothing because we still tearing down. But everybody gonna see the rebuilding. That's the second time around. So if you don't get it the first time around, just remain humble. You'll get it the second time around. But don't step up to the sword, y'all. Don't do that, man. You're gonna lose your limbs. You're gonna lose all your limbs if you step up to the sword. So if you just refute it, just refute it. Trust me, you're gonna get it once the house built. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. You ain't gonna help but to say what? Damn, they did tell us. But just don't step in front of the sword, y'all, because it's sharp. It's sharp, y'all. So remain humble. You know, God is working. This is really out of our hands. We just being moved and doing what we supposed to do, y'all. So at the end of the day, man, as always, we hope the Father has circumcised y'all hearts and ears for the message. We got anything?
Peace, y'all.
Peace.